This video is about a single mom entered the bookstore and a billionaire handed her an umbrella. If this story touches your heart, please mention where you are watching from in the comments. Please like the video and share your thoughts in comments. The rain drummed insistently against the pavement, transforming the streets of downtown into a mirror of shimmering puddles. Emma Taylor huddled beneath a frayed red raincoat, shielding her 9-year-old daughter, Lily. A colorful umbrella danced in her daughter's hands, but it had succumbed to a mischievous gust of wind, flipping inside out moments earlier. "Mom, I think I need a new one," Lily exclaimed, her voice a mix of laughter and impatience. Her short brown curls bounced as she skipped along, her small sneaker splashing in puddles. Emma chuckled, her heart swelling at the sight of Lily's carefree spirit. "Just hold on a bit longer, sweetheart, the bookstore is right ahead. We can find something interesting to read." As they approached the warm, inviting glow of the bookstore, Emma felt a sense of relief wash over her. The familiar scent of coffee mixed with the musty aroma of old pages enveloped her, promising a comforting escape from the storm outside. She pushed the glass door open, and a bell jingled above their heads. "Welcome," the cheerful voice greeted them. Emma turned to see the shop owner, an older woman with thick glasses perched on her nose. "You two look like you've braved the storm." Lily giggled and twirled in place. "We be on an adventure." Emma smiled, her heart warmed by her daughter's exuberance. But as they stepped further into the store, she noticed the other patrons. The spacious room was filled with the gentle murmurs of conversation and the rustling of pages. It felt alive, and for a moment she let herself get lost in the atmosphere. "Let's go find that new book you wanted," Emma suggested, leading Lily toward the children's section. The shelves overflowed with vibrant covers, each promising a new world to explore. As they browsed, Emma tried to push aside the nagging reminder of her responsibilities. Being a single mother often meant juggling work, bills, and a never-ending to-do list. But here she felt a sense of freedom, if only for a moment. "Look, Mom." Lily held up a book with a fantastical dragon on the cover. "Can we get this one?" Emma knelt beside her, her heart melting at the excitement in her daughter's voice. "Of course, but let us check the ending first. We need to make sure it's a good one." Just then, the bell jingled again, and a tall figure stepped inside, shaking off an umbrella before letting it fold into the corner of the room. Emma felt an unexpected flutter in her chest as she caught a glimpse of him. He was striking with sharp jawline, tousled dark hair, and a casual confidence that made him stand out even amidst the sea of book lovers. "Excuse me," he said, his voice rich and warm, catching the attention of several nearby customers. "Is there a lost umbrella in here? I could swear I dropped it outside." Emma's attention drifted back to her daughter as the man scanned the shop, and she felt an inexplicable urge to answer him. "I think it is over by the door," she said, her voice steady despite the unexpected nervousness that bubbled within her. His gaze shifted toward her, and their eyes met. For a brief moment, the noise around them faded, leaving only the soft thrum of her heartbeat in her ears. "Thank you," he replied, a slight smile playing at the corners of his lips. As he stepped closer, Emma caught a faint whiff of his cologne, a warm, woody scent that sent a shiver down her spine. She tore her gaze away, focusing on Lily, who was now flipping through the pages of a picture book, oblivious to the quiet chemistry building in the air. "Hi, I am Cole," he said, extending his hand toward her, and Emma noticed the subtle strength in his grip as she shook it. "I appreciate your help." "Emma," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper, suddenly self-conscious. "And this is my daughter, Lily." "Nice to meet you both," he said, crouching down to Lily's level. "What are you reading?" Lily's eyes sparkled with excitement. "A book about a dragon. Do you like dragons?" Cole's face lit up. "Dragons are fascinating. Did you know they used to be a symbol of power?" "Really?" Lily's curiosity was piqued, and Emma watched the interaction with a mix of joy and caution. It was the first time in a long while that someone had taken such an interest in her daughter. "Absolutely," Cole replied, his voice animated. "They flew over kingdoms, guarded treasures, and even had their own myths." Emma felt a warmth spread through her chest, a stark contrast to the storm outside. She couldn't remember the last time a stranger had captivated them both like this. But as the moments stretched, a small nagging thought crept into her mind. Was she being foolish for enjoying this interaction too much? "We should probably look for that umbrella," Cole said, straightening up and glancing toward the entrance. "I wouldn't want to leave you two stuck in the rain without one." "Oh, it is okay," Emma said quickly, shaking her head. "We'll all manage." Cole paused, tilting his head slightly as if considering her words. You know, I have an extra one in my car, if you were interested. Emma hesitated. Accepting an umbrella from a stranger felt strangely intimate, but the thought of walking back into the rain without proper protection for Lily made her heart quicken. That is really generous of you, but… Mom, please. Lily interjected, her eyes wide with excitement. I want to see the dragon book at home without getting wet. Emma bit her lip, caught between her instincts and her daughter's enthusiasm. All right, she finally relented with a small smile, meeting Cole's gaze. That would be really helpful. Great, just let me grab it. He flashed another charming smile before heading toward the door, and Emma felt a mix of anticipation and unease. Mom, he is so nice. Lily chirped, flipping through more pages as Emma tried to suppress the butterflies in her stomach. I know, honey, Emma replied, a voice light but her thoughts swirling. She felt a strange connection with him, one that made her heart race and her mind scatter. Was it just kindness, or was there something more to it? Suddenly, her phone buzzed in her pocket, pulling her from her daydream. It was a text from her ex, reminding her of the upcoming custody arrangements. A frown creased her brow as she read it, the familiar tension tightening in her chest. Everything okay? Lily asked, noticing her mother's sudden change in demeanor. Fine, sweetie, Emma replied, forcing a smile. Just some grown-up stuff. Okay. Lily chirped, returning her focus to the books, but Emma couldn't shake off the nagging feeling inside her. The excitement of meeting Cole suddenly felt layered with the weight of a reality. Here you go. Cole returned, an umbrella in his hand, the raindrops glistening against the fabric. It is not the fanciest, but it'll keep you dry. Thank you, she said, accepting it. Their fingers brushed lightly, and a spark of something unspoken passed between them. The moment lingered, charged with an electricity that made her breath catch. Are you two ready to brave the storm again? Cole asked, his eyes warm and inviting. Ready as we can be, Lily said, clutching her new dragon book tightly against her chest, her excitement infectious. As they stepped outside, the rain had lessened to a gentle drizzle. Emma opened the umbrella, grateful for the extra shelter. She glanced up at Cole, whose gaze remained fixed on her, a hint of curiosity dancing in his eyes. Maybe we'll see you again sometime, he asked, a trace of hope lacing his voice. Maybe, Emma replied, her heart racing as she felt the weight of possibility. She looked down at her daughter, who was already lost in her book, and her thoughts raced. Could she allow herself to explore this unexpected connection? With a final wave, she turned to walk away, her mind swirling with thoughts of dragons, books, and a man who had stepped into her life just for a moment. As they walked toward the car, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of something more. The rain had transformed into a soft drizzle, the kind that kissed the pavement with a gentle caress. Emma tilted the umbrella to shield both herself and Lily as they walked toward their car, the rhythmic sound of droplets falling around them creating an almost soothing melody. Look, Mum, the puddles are perfect for jumping, Lily exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with mischief as she spotted a particularly inviting one. Just be careful not to get your shoes muddy, Emma replied, half smiling, half scolding. The last thing she needed was to wrestle with soggy shoes on the ride home. But as she watched her daughter, there was a warmth unfurling within her, a small reminder of the innocence of childhood that was sometimes lost in the weight of adult responsibilities. Suddenly, her thoughts drifted back to Cole. His easy confidence, the way he had knelt to engage Lily, and that spark when their fingers brushed it was unexpected and thrilling. What did it mean? Was she really ready to entertain thoughts of someone new in her life? Mom. Lily's voice broke through her reverie, and Emma turned to see her daughter bouncing on the balls of her feet, a grin plastered on her face. Can I get a hot chocolate when we get home? Of course. Emma ruffled her hair, feeling a moment of contentment. You've earned it after braving the storm with me. As they reached the car, Emma fumbled with her keys, the weight of her purse pulling at her shoulder. Just as she unlocked the door, she caught sight of Cole again, standing a few paces away, talking animatedly with a friend who had just emerged from the bookstore. Emma's heart raced. She hadn't expected to see him again so soon. Was it a coincidence, or was there something more to it? Mom, look. Lily tugged at her sleeve, pulling Emma's attention back to her. Can we go say hi? Sweetheart, I don't think that is a good idea. But before Emma could finish her thought, Lily was already darting toward Cole. The little girl's fearless spirit was both endearing and terrifying. Emma hurried after her, her heart pounding with a mix of pride and a strange sense of apprehension. Hi, Lily chirped, beaming up at Cole. I am Lily, thanks for the umbrella. Hey there, Lily, how was your adventure? Cole asked, kneeling again to meet her eye level. genuinely interested. Emma watched, her heart swelling a little. He truly was great with kids. It was so fun, I found the dragon buck. Lily bounced on her feet, the excitement spilling out of her in waves. That sounds amazing. I love dragons. They were fierce and brave, just like you, Cole said, a playful grin breaking across his face. Emma felt a flutter in her stomach at the way he spoke to Lily. It seemed so effortless, so genuine. But there was a small voice inside her that whispered of caution. What was she doing, letting her daughter get attached to a stranger? Colt, she interjected gently, stepping closer. I am sorry if she interrupted. We were just leaving. No need to apologize, he said, standing up to meet her gaze, the teasing light in his eyes dimming slightly as he focused on her. I was just catching up with a friend, but it is nice to see you both again. Emma felt her cheeks warm under his scrutiny. Something about the way he looked at her stirred something deep within her. He really didn't have to help us with the umbrella, she said, trying to maintain a level tone despite her racing heart. I wanted to, he replied, a hint of sincerity in his voice. It is the least I could do. Besides, the rain always feels heavier when you re caught in it alone. Emma's breath itched in her throat. There was an honesty in his words that struck a chord within her, a shared understanding of vulnerability that resonated deeply. Just then, Lily tugged at Emma's arm, breaking the moment. Mom, can we please get hot chocolate now? I want to show you the dragon. Yes, sweetheart, let us go, Emma said, her heart heavy with possible regrets. She was still trying to gauge what she felt for Cole, and it felt too early to put any labels on it. All right, take care. Cole called, giving them a warm smile that sent a flutter through Emma's heart. As they got into the car, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that she had let something slip through her fingers. Mom, he is really nice. Can we see him again? Lily asked, her voice filled with innocent enthusiasm. Emma hesitated, her hands gripping the steering wheel. I don't know, honey. We just met him. Maybe he can be our friend, Lily suggested, her eyes bright with hope. Friends are great, but sometimes it is important to be careful about who we let into our lives, Emma replied, trying to keep her tone light, but it only echoed her own concern. Why? Lily asked, tilting her head in that way only children could, making Emma rethink her answer. Because, while some people are wonderful, not everyone has our best interests at heart. It is important to take our time. But he helped us, Lily argued, her youthful logic unwavering. And he was so nice to me. Emma took a deep breath. Kids saw the world differently, untainted by the fears that sometimes haunted adults. You were right, he was nice, but sometimes it is about more than just being nice, it is about feeling safe too. Lily nodded thoughtfully, but Emma could see the disappointment in her eyes. Emma felt a pang of guilt. She wished she could simply bask in the magic of the moment without the harsh realities of life intruding. Later that evening, as they settled onto the couch with steaming mugs of hot chocolate, Lily curled up beside her, the dragon book propped open on the coffee table. Can I read it to you, Mom? Lily asked, her face lit with eagerness. Of course, Emma replied, wrapping her arms around her daughter and taking a sip of the rich chocolatey sweetness. Lily began reading, her little voice bringing the story to life. Emma watched her, savoring the moment, but her mind kept drifting back to Cole. What if he was someone she could trust? What if this was an opportunity for more than just a fleeting encounter? As the evening wore on, Emma found herself replaying the afternoon in her mind, the warmth of their conversation, his effortless charm, the way he made Lily light up. Could she really allow herself to be open to something new? A sudden ping from her phone pulled her back to reality, a reminder from her ex, and just like that, Emma felt the familiar weight of tension settle on her shoulders. Mom. Lily's soft voice broke through her thoughts. Are you okay? Emma turned to her daughter, forcing a smile. I am okay, sweetheart, just thinking about some things. About Cole? Lily asked, her innocent eyes wide with curiosity. Emma paused, taken aback. How did you know? Because you keep smiling when you think about him, Lily declared, her confidence unwavering. Emma couldn't help but laugh softly. Sometimes, Lily, grown-ups have complicated feelings that are hard to explain. But it is good to like someone, right? Yes, Emma admitted, her heart softening. But it also means being careful. Lily nodded sagely, leaning back into her mother's embrace. You should call him, he could be our friend. Maybe one day, Emma replied, her heart swelling with affection for her daughter. As they cuddled on the couch, Emma felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps the rainstorms weren't just about the downpour, but also about the possibility of new beginnings. And as she listened to Lily's animated voice, she realized that some connections were worth exploring, even if they came with a hint of uncertainty. Later that night, after tucking Lily into bed, Emma sat on the edge of her own bed, the weight of her phone heavy in her hand. She hesitated, her heart racing as she contemplated reaching out to Cole. Was she ready to open that door? Did she truly want to invite another person into her already complicated life? As she set the phone down, Emma took a deep breath, allowing herself a moment of vulnerability. Whatever the future held, she would face it head-on just as she had always done. And with that thought, she felt a renewed sense of courage blooming within her. Maybe tomorrow would bring unexpected rainbows after the storm. The following morning dawned bright and cheerful. The storm clouds that had loomed ominously over Emma and Lily's lives faded into the distance. Sunlight streamed through the kitchen window, causing dust motes to dance in the beams of light. Emma made her way to the coffee pot, the rich aroma filling the air as she contemplated the day ahead. Lily, still in her pajamas, bounded into the kitchen, her hair a delightful mess of curls. "Good morning, Mom. Is it a school day?" she chirped, her eyes sparkling with the remnants of childhood wonder. "Good morning. Yes, it is, but we have time for a nice breakfast first," Emma replied, smiling as she poured cereal into a bowl, careful to keep the milk from splashing too much. Lily hopped onto a chair, her legs swinging beneath her. "Can we have pancakes instead?" she asked, her voice rising with hope. Emma chuckled, her heart warming. "All right, pancakes it is, but only if you help me flip them." "Deal." Lily squealed, excitement bubbling over as she rushed to the cupboard to gather the ingredients. As they worked side by side, laughter filled the kitchen. Emma found herself reminiscing about simpler times, when her biggest worries were whether there would be enough sprinkles for the pancakes. But now, each moment felt tinged with the complexities of single motherhood, the responsibilities that loomed like shadows in the corners of her mind. "Mom, do you think we'll see Cole again?" Lily suddenly asked, breaking into Emma's thoughts. The question hung in the air like the sweet syrup they were preparing. Emma's heart skipped a beat, a rush of warmth washing over her at the mention of Cole. "I don't know, sweetie. It is hard to say." Lily frowned, her small brow furrowing in deep thought. "But he was really nice to us. Why wouldn't we see him?" Emma hesitated, trying to navigate her own feelings. Sometimes people come into our lives for just a moment, and that is okay. It doesn't mean we want to see them again. It just means we have to be patient. Like the dragons in my book? Lily's face lit up as she made the connection, her imagination swirling. Exactly, just like that. Emma smiled, relieved as she saw her daughter's disappointment fade. They finished breakfast, and Emma busied herself with packing Lily's lunch. The morning routine was a comforting rhythm, but as she moved about the kitchen, her thoughts kept drifting back to Cole. Why had their brief encounter affected her so profoundly? Eventually, they left for school, the bright morning sun illuminating the path ahead. Emma dropped Lily off, watching as her daughter dashed into the school building, a bright splash of color against the mundane grey bricks. As she turned to walk back to her car, her phone buzzed. Emma glanced down, her heart racing as she saw a message from an unknown number. Her stomach twisted with a mix of excitement and anxiety as she read it. "Hi, Emma, it is Cole. I hope you and Lily made it home okay. I was wondering if you'd like to grab coffee sometime." Emma's breath hitched. 1,000 thoughts raced through her mind. She felt the familiar pull of anxiety as she considered the implications of accepting this invitation. But the warmth of his text did something within her, a flicker of hope and possibility. It took her a few moments to muster the courage to respond. "Hi, Cole, we made it home just fine, thank you. I would love to grab coffee." As soon as she hit send, an unexpected rush of exhilaration surged through her. The prospect of spending more time with him felt thrilling yet terrifying. What was she getting herself into? Throughout the day, Emma busied herself with work, but her thoughts kept straying to the upcoming coffee date. She couldn't deny the flutter in her chest at the idea of exploring this connection further. But what if it didn't lead anywhere? What if he merely saw her as a momentary distraction? Back home later that evening, she prepared dinner while replaying their last encounter in her mind. Each memory felt like a jigsaw piece, fitting together to create a picture she hadn't anticipated. Lily returned home, bursting with stories from her day, her boundless energy filling the house with light. Emma listened, encouraging her daughter as vivid recounting, but her thoughts kept drifting. "Wow." Lily's voice broke through her reverie again. "Are you okay? You seem kind of distracted tonight." "I am fine, honey. Just thinking about grown-up stuff," Emma replied, brushing her daughter's hair back. "Like Cole?" Lily asked, her voice steady and curious. Emma paused, caught off guard. "Why do you ask?" Because you keep smiling when you think about him, Lily said, her tone matter of fact. Emma felt a blush creep into her cheeks, realizing how transparent she was. Well, he is nice, and it's okay to be happy about meeting new people. Can I ask him to be our friend? Lily asked eagerly. Let us see how it goes first, alright? Emma replied, her heart swelling with affection for her daughter. That night, as Emma tucked Lily into bed, she found herself replaying her conversation with Cole. The anticipation of seeing him again coursed through her veins, igniting emotions she had long kept buried. As soon as Lily's eyes fluttered closed, Emma settled into her own evening routine, her thoughts still swirling. Finally, the day of the coffee date arrived, and Emma stood in front of her mirror, biting her lip as she assessed her reflection. The casual outfit felt both comfortable and vulnerable at the same time. Would Cole see her as the woman she wanted to be, or merely the single mother she often felt trapped by? When she arrived at the cafe, the warm, inviting atmosphere enveloped her. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air, mingling with the sounds of laughter and soft chatter. She found a seat by the window, nervously tapping her fingers against the table as she waited. A few moments later, Cole walked in, his tall figure commanding attention as he scanned the room. When his gaze landed on her, a bright smile broke across his face, instantly melting away any tension in Emma's chest. Hey, he greeted, making his way over. I am glad you could make it. Hi, Emma replied, her heart racing as he sat down across from her. The chemistry was palpable, a magnetic pull that made it hard to focus on anything else. How is your day going? Cole asked, his eyes sparkling with genuine interest. Busy, but good. Just the usual work, errands, and trying to keep up with a 9-year-old, Emma replied, trying to keep the conversation light. Sounds like a full day, he said, leaning in slightly. You're doing an amazing job, you know. Not everyone can juggle as much as you do. Emma felt warmth flood her cheeks. Thank you. It can be overwhelming sometimes, but she makes it all worth it. I can imagine, Cole said, his tone shifting slightly. I have a lot of respect for single parents. It takes a lot of courage. Just then, a barista approached, interrupting their moment. They both ordered coffee, and as they waited, Emma's heart raced with anticipation. So, tell me more about you, Cole prompted, his gaze steady and inviting. Me? Well, I am just an ordinary single mom trying to make ends meet, Emma said, attempting to downplay her life. But there was something about the way Cole listened that encouraged her to share more. Ordinary? I don't think so, he replied, a teasing smile dancing on his lips. You braved the storm with a 9-year-old dragon enthusiast. That's legendary. She laughed, surprised by his ability to make her feel special. Maybe I just got lucky. Luck or not, it is impressive, he said, leaning back in his chair as their coffees were placed before them. They fell into an easy conversation, the chemistry between them simmering with every shared laugh and warm glance. Emma felt herself opening up in ways she hadn't anticipated, allowing herself to be vulnerable. Do you have any hobbies? Cole asked, his eyes fixed on her, fostering a sense of intimacy. I used to love reading, Emma admitted. But I haven't had much time since Lily was born. I guess I've traded novels for picture books. And the occasional dragon tale, he teased, raising an eyebrow. Emma rolled her eyes playfully. Precisely, though I have to admit, there is something charming about the adventures of a brave little dragon. As the conversation flowed, Emma was surprised by how comfortable she felt with him. Yet a small voice inside her whispered doubts. Could she really allow herself to explore this attraction? What about you? She asked, redirecting the conversation. What do you do when you're not rescuing umbrellas from storms? Cole chuckled, letting the moment linger. I am in real estate. It can be a bit mundane, but I enjoy helping people find their dream homes. It feels rewarding. Sounds fulfilling, Emma said, her interest piqued. It is, but I also love exploring new places. I recently took a trip to the mountains, which was breathtaking, Cole added, his eyes shining with enthusiasm. Emma felt the gentle warmth of the coffee cup in her hands, the steam rising and swirling, reflecting the flutter of nerves that danced in her chest. As she looked at Cole, whose smile was both charming and disarming, she felt the weight of his gaze, a mix of interest and admiration that sent butterflies flitting through her stomach. So, mountains, huh? She asked, leaning in slightly intrigued. That sounds amazing. Did you go hiking? Yeah, I hiked a couple of trails. The views were breathtaking, and there is something so rejuvenating about being in nature, Cole replied, his enthusiasm evident. There is a lake surrounded by trees that was just stunning. I could stayed there for hours. Emma nodded, picturing the serene landscape he described. I can see how that would be calming. I've always wanted to take Lily to a place like that, away from the noise of the city. Definitely. Kids love exploring nature, Cole said, his eyes sparkling. It's all about the adventures, right? Just like dragons. Emma chuckled, their whimsical connection flowing between them like a stream. Exactly. Maybe I need to schedule a hiking trip soon. I can let Lily's adventurous spirit go to waste. Not to mention yours, Cole added, his tone teasing. I can see the spark in you. You have an adventurous side too, don't you? Emma felt her cheeks warm, not used to being seen that way. I try to embrace it when I can. Life tends to take over, though. Life has a way of doing that, he replied, a hint of understanding in his voice. But it's always important to carve out time for yourself. You deserve it. A moment of contemplation settled between them, and Emma felt the connection deepen. She had fought so hard to be strong, for Lily to be the perfect mother, but there was a part of her that longed for someone to see her as more than just a caretaker. Thank you, she said softly. It's been a while since I felt I guess like myself. Good, I am glad to hear that, Cole said, his voice slow and sincere. You deserve to feel that way. As they sipped their drinks, the conversation flowed easily, like they were both catching up with an old friend. They shared stories of their childhoods, the places they grew up, and how those experiences shaped them. The sunbeams filtering through the caf window cast a golden glow upon them, and Emma couldn't help but be captivated by the way Cole spoke. His hands moved expressively as he described his childhood adventures, and she found herself mesmerized by the passion in his voice. Were you always this charming? She asked playfully, unable to resist the urge to tease him. He chuckled, leaning back in his chair, a roguish grin flashing across his face. Only when I am around fascinating company. Flattery will get you everywhere, you know, Emma quipped, her heart racing at the flirtation lacing his words. Good to know, he replied, a playful glint in his eyes. I'll keep that in mind. As their laughter filled the space around them, Emma felt the warmth blooming in her chest. But lurking beneath that warmth was a gnawing anxiety. Could she really let herself explore this connection? The ghost of her past whispered caution, reminding her of the pain and heartbreak she had endured. So, tell me, Cole said, his expression shifting to something more serious. What do you look for in a friend, or perhaps something more? Emma felt the weight of his question settle heavily upon her. I guess I look for authenticity, someone who is genuine. Trust is important to me. I've learned the hard way that it is not always easy to find. I understand, Cole replied, the gravity of his gaze holding hers. Trust takes time to build, but I promise I am here for the right reasons. A part of Emma wanted to believe him, wanted to throw caution to the wind. But another part felt the weight of uncertainty pressing in. It is just I am a single mom, and that comes with its own set of challenges, she confessed, her voice quiet but steady. I have to think of Lily first. Of course, he said gently, his tone understanding. And you should, but that doesn't mean you should ignore your own needs. You deserve happiness too, Emma. The vulnerability in his words made her heart swell, yet fear crept in. What if they grew close, and it all fell apart? You were right, but it is complicated, she admitted, biting her lip. I am not sure I am ready to let someone in. Cole nodded slowly, his expression softening. I respect that. I wouldn't want to rush you into anything. We can take our time. The conversation continued, meandering through topics that ranged from favorite movies to childhood dreams. Each shared anecdote layered on the foundation of their budding connection, building an invisible thread that pulled them closer. But as the clock ticked on, Emma's heart fluttered with a mix of excitement and apprehension. This was the first time in a long while that she felt alive, seen, and understood. Yet the shadows of her past lingered in the corners of her mind, whispering doubts that begged for attention. Can I ask you something? She said, her voice steady despite the tremor of uncertainty inside. Of course, Cole replied, leaning forward, his attention fully on her. What are your intentions? She asked, her heart racing. I mean, with me. I know we just met, but I don't want to misread the signs. Cole paused, his eyes searching hers for sincerity. Honestly, I am genuinely interested in getting to know you better. There is something about you, Emma, you recaptivating. The sincerity in his voice sent a thrill through her, feeling she hadn't experienced in years. I just don't want to get carried away, Emma admitted, her voice dropping to a whisper. I have to protect Lily. I understand, he reassured her. But I also believe that life is full of surprises. Sometimes the best things happen when we least expect them. I am willing to take it slow and see where this goes. Emma felt her heart flutter at his words, a glimmer of hope igniting within her. "I do like that," she said softly, feeling the weight of her fears begin to lift, if only slightly. "I do like to see where this goes to." "Then let us take it one step at a time," Cole suggested, his eyes filled with warmth. "How about we start with more coffee dates, perhaps some adventures too?" "I do like that," Emma replied, a smile breaking across her face. It felt exhilarating to open herself up to the possibility, to allow her heart to dance on the edge of something new. As they wrapped up their coffees, Cole leaned back in his chair, a thoughtful expression on his face. "Do you think Lily would like to join us next time? I'd love to meet the little dragon enthusiast herself." Emma felt a rush of warmth at the thought. "I think she would love that. It is important for her to see me happy." "Then it is a plan," Cole said, his smile infectious. As they left the cafe, Emma felt a newfound sense of optimism blooming within her. For the first time in a long while, she felt hopeful. Perhaps life had a way of surprising her when she least expected it, weaving in new connections amid the complexities of her reality. As they walked outside, the air was crisp and invigorating, a stark contrast to the emotional storm that had raged in her heart before their meeting. The sun was shining brightly, illuminating the path ahead, and Emma felt the weight of uncertainty begin to lift. "Let us get together soon, then," Cole said, his voice warm and inviting. "I'll take you and Lily on a little adventure, something fun." "Sounds perfect," Emma replied, her heart quickening at the thought. As they exchanged goodbyes, the potential of their connection hung in the air, crackling with excitement. Emma stepped back into her world, her heart dancing to the rhythm of newfound hope, all while the ghosts of the past began to fade. In that moment, she realized that perhaps the rain was just the beginning of something beautiful, a reminder that even storms could lead to unexpected, breathtaking moments. And as she headed home, the warmth of possibility ignited within her, like the glow of a dragon's fire lighting the way forward.